So happy to be joined by Tony Choy, dude. What's going on, Tony?
Wow. First of all, I want to thank you guys once again. I think you guys are doing something extremely wonderful for the metal community, and it's just paying it forward. And you guys are, preserving the culture, and I think it's wonderful. So thank you so very much to all the fans tuning in right now. Wow. Thank you so much again for just 38 years of what a ride.
Right, right,
Amazing,
exactly.
amazing ride. A 14-year-old kid from Cuba with metal posters in his house, in his room.
Is
Uh,
that what year,
Pretty.
what age you came over here at? Was it
No, I
14 or
came at 6 years old, but
okay?
but when I got into music, I was a painter first. I
Oh
was
wow.
Oh
into
wow.
I was an artist, and pretty much, I was in a conservatory. I was gonna be a commercial artist. I probably would have made a lot more money now,
Yeah, yeah.
but nevertheless, that was my journey, which I thought was my one of my purposes or my main purpose. But then at 14, my dad's a musician, so let's
Mhm.
just start with the birth. My
Right.
dad's a musician, and he was signed with RCA Records in Cuba with a trio
Wow.
of basically a vocal group. If you could think about Backstreet Boys, but in 1975.
Yeah.
Wow.
But musicians, my dad's a guitar player, a
That's cool.
wonderful singer, songwriter, amazing. So basically, he gave me a guitar when I was 6, and I
Hmm.
carved my name, Antonio Choi, on the guitar. And when he saw that, he freaking flipped out. He
Oh,
was like,
I bet,
"You
dude.
desecrated the instrument.
I
What are
know.
you, crazy kid? I'm 6 years old. I want to
Right.
draw. I want to draw. I want to be a
Uh-huh.
painter. Dad, I want to freaking draw. I want to do caricatures." He's like, "Son, you want to do caricatures? Here's one. Here's your first one." My dad would actually be the one drawing the caricatures for me and said, "Bring it back when it's just like that." and I
Wow.
and I would
Nice.
bring it back, boom, boom, and it just got to a moment that I would bring it back so fast that my dad goes, "You need to go to a conservatory."
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
so I started in a conservatory at 9 years old, and I hated the teacher. He screamed at me because I was with 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds. I was this little kid, and he was like, "You're doing the charcoal wrong," and I'm like, "I'm 9." But it really, my life has been like that. I've always been put to the gun. I've always been the the one that I have to keep up. If not, I'm gonna be left behind.
Right.
So throughout my life's journey, going, making a small parentheses, but really going back to at 14, I'm like, "Dad, I don't want to do paint anymore. I don't want to paint anymore. I don't like
Hmm.
it." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I want to be a musician. I want to be a bass
Mm.
player." He's
So
like,
what
"Now."
so what did you hear pre 14 that made you start wanting to be interested in bass playing and music in general?
Nothing. Whatever
Nothing.
was on the
So
radio, Planet Patrol, whatever was hip. I was into breakdancing, if you could
yeah, yeah.
imagine that, Boogaloo Shrimp, this and that, New York, and the Run DMC, and blah
Oh
blah
yeah.
blah blah, and all of this stuff, and I'm gonna tell you something so wild, just a little bit later, but nevertheless, I used to blast Planet Patrol. Cheap thrills, be nothing if you have, and with this boombox and stuff. I used to put it on the on. Anyways, so 14, I tell my dad, "I don't want to paint anymore. I want to do music now." My dad said, "Now you want to do music, Dad, bro?" Oh my god! So I tell my dad, "Come on, Dad. I saw this bass at a pawn shop. I'll show you where it's at. Padrino's Pawn Shop on 8th Street in Miami." He's like, "Okay, let's go. Let me check it out." So when I take my dad, it was the ugliest yellow, I don't know, no name bass.
Hmm.
I'm like, "That's the bass." He's like, "No, no way, no, you're
I'm
not
not
getting
buying
that.
that. Yeah.
I'm not buying that. That's a piece of crap." I said, "Dad, that's the bass that I want." He's like, son, no, I'm not gonna invest in that. I said, look, I'll give you all my paint stuff, my paints, my
Whoa, your
easel,
supplies.
my
Yeah, yeah.
supplies, my brushes, like everything, bro. I used to do paper mache, I used to do oil, pastel. I was like charcoal. I was some crazy, crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
nevertheless, I used to do the paper mache mask, like all the wrestler masks and stuff like
Hmm,
that
hmm.
out of paper mache, out of paper and paste in water. Anyways, so
What was that?
here I'm
Lucha Libre? Is that what it's called? Lucha
yeah,
Libre?
like
Yeah.
lucha libre, like yeah, like santo and this and that. So nevertheless, I'm at the pawn shop. Give me that. I want that base. Okay, let's get him the base. Boom. Here's he tells the pawn shop guy, oh, here's the trade, and he's like, that's crap. I don't want that. But he's like, hey, can you just take it so the kid thinks that he actually contributed something? So he takes the stuff. I get my base, and then I'm like, now I need an amp, and my mom got me my first amp. So my
Nice.
mom and dad contributed towards everything that I have today, and
Right.
it's been a pretty wild journey.
So tell us how you started that. Like lessons, or were you just playing by ear?
No
And
lessons, man.
yeah.
I just said, this is what I need to do, this is what I feel, and I mean, let me tell you, man, it's I don't want to. I want to be as humble as I can right now because this might sound a little pretentious, but when I got the bass, I already knew how to play it,
Mm,
if that makes any sense.
okay.
And I knew that because my ear, um, I have perfect pitch, tone. Okay, now let's clear that up. Let me give a disclaimer right now. Because our true frequency is not 440, it's 432. I'm sure you guys know that.
Yeah,
So
I've heard that before for sure.
yeah, that's the solfeggio. Our natural solfeggio frequency is 432. Actually, I've recorded on 432, and it's super super cool. 440
Mhm.
was made by the Germans in 1940. To cause tension and anxiety and control. It's a
Hmm.
really So nevertheless, that's the whole thing. With me learning the song, and then it's just okay. So the Trooper. Okay, let's learn that. Boom.
Mhm.
This song, anesthesia pulling teeth. So that was my school, bro. The,
Right.
Damn.
the metal
So
heroes, man. That was my school.
it's just
Metallica
being
was
in
my
your
school.
room, just
Yeah,
listening to
yeah,
tunes and
yeah.
mimicking what you heard.
Absolutely. What I did with the drawings that my dad was giving me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So basically, I took that structure, that process, and I did it again with the instrument. So I said, okay, if I copy this and I copy it how it's supposed to sound, then that's right.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, then later down the line, when I started getting jobs as a musician and auditioning for bands and stuff like that, where I needed to read,
Tell
then
us
I
about
was
the
like,
real quick. Tell us about the first time you played with other people. Like got together with a like high school band or something like that.
yeah, well, not really a high school band. It was just a band, a rock metal band, called Flair. Just a garage band. Get
Mm-hmm.
together and play whatever it is that the guitar player was playing.
Right.
Basically, that was the whole, and I stuck with that, and obviously, you know I knew that there was something missing though, because of the actual demographic and platform of the bass guitar,
Mm-hmm.
which I've done curriculums, and I've taught at different universities and conservatories and academies, and I've always said the bass is a kick drum with notes. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, makes sense.
It's a kick drum
It's a
with notes,
pulse.
and
That's
that's why you see the upright bass,
I like that.
boom, 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 especially in the syncopated part of salsa. boom, 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 because salsa doesn't have a kick drum. They just have upper percussion and
Oh, I
minor
didn't know that.
percussion.
I didn't even put that
Yeah,
together. Okay.
yeah. Salsa music has no the bass is the kick drum. The bass
Oh,
is
Wow.
the kick
trippy.
drum. Yeah,
Huh.
exactly. And
Cool.
so every other instrument is percussive, and then you have the the horns,
Hmm.
los
Sure.
metales,
Hmm.
and then obviously a piano player and the bass. That's it. That's all the organic, and it's a march of percussion instruments, congas, timbal, bless you, and that's my wife. So and basically, so that's the structure that I started learning. So then I was not forced, but I knew that I had to learn how to read. So I started
Yeah.
working on charts and things like that, and learning
Still on your own though, teaching
on my
yourself.
own, yeah, teaching myself. And then I went through the theory, which I don't like theory on anything. I think that obviously you should know the beginnings and you should know the fundamentals, but then that's it, because then your creativity will go away. If you stick, I know a lot of great, amazing, you know uh I would say, like, crazy musicians, the violinist, and this and cellist and da 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 da, and they know the theory, they have the school, but if you take the paper away from them, they can't play.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They can't
Hmm.
play, and they told
Yeah.
me, I've had them
Yeah.
in sessions. I do string arrangements, and they're like, "What do I do?" I'm like, "Whatever you feel. What do you hear? I want you. I want your creativity." "Oh, I don't know how to do that." "I don't. What do you mean?" And but
Right.
you mean
Right.
you if you tell me a melody, I'll play it. So I'll go dun 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 bum bum bum. Can you play that? Yeah, sure. Dun 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 bum bum bum. Okay, great. Yeah, 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 whatever, and I'm like, oh my god. So if you don't write it, for them, my god, these people are like geniuses, man. They're, I mean,
Hmm.
in a, right now, I don't think that mathematics, would be something that, remember, music is mathematical. It's everything to do with time, you know and the notes are part of a frequency, which is also mathematics. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Right.
Hmm.
So at any given time, there you go, time again. It's like you have to really, but I know how to count. I have a great, I have rhythm, and the ear is special.
Yeah.
There's That's something that really, really saved my butt through
So
my
Hmm.
through my career.
with all that, tell us about how you discovered the more extreme side of heavy metal, and who was feeding it to you. What was something that really stood out in the beginning that made you fall a rabbit hole, something like that?
It was a friend from the neighborhood. His
Hmm.
name was Hector. Hector Girola. If you're out there, thank you so very much. I haven't spoken to him in, oh my God, in 30 years.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
So if you're out there and you hear this, I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and my spirit, man. You changed my life. You really, by you presenting me, opening my eyes and my ears to this amazing genre of music. I started with Wasp and Green Reaper, and
Okay.
and I was fresh out of school, basically, of music, type of thing, getting into music, finding, Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy, and this and that. I got more into the classic stuff, Deep Purple, but then I discovered Destruction, and I
Yeah.
started tape trading. And there was this store in downtown Miami that we used to just wait every week. They would get all these imports, So we discovered Destruction, obviously Metallica, Destructor, Slayer. My God, when I heard Hell Awaits, I was like,
Yep.
what the hell?
At Down They
You know,
Sleep. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
on they sleep. It's just, and well, everything in Destruction. My God, is like, you know, what was invasion? What was it? Um,
I'm kind of weak on my destruction knowledge. Are you guys
Bastille Invasion or something like
okay?
that.
Okay.
And then all the other albums that I can't really think about them right now. But Creator, obviously, Discover Creator, Pleasure to Kill, I'm like, and imagine these are my great friends now,
Right.
Mike and Schmier and Ollie and all these guys and you know Millie and it's amazing. So then I started playing more with kind of out, doing gigs like the Button South and things like that, and kind of getting my feet wet in the live situation, and and then one day we shared a warehouse with Cynic, my
Mm.
Mhm.
band, my other band, which was called Asphyxia, and
Yeah.
Alex Marquez was my drummer. You know,
Okay.
actually, me and Alex Marquez started the first band ever. Me and Alex Marquez started the first band together. That was
Mm.
my first band with Alex Marquez. You know,
Okay.
Nice.
so right after that, we shared a warehouse with Cynic, and then one day, Paul, Sean, and Jason kind of like cornered me, and I was just like this 15-year-old kid, that kind of like, oh, smoking weed and hanging out and whatever, wherever the wind blows, you know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
and they said, would you listen? We've been watching you, and you're doing great. Da, da, da. You think you want to join Cynic? And I was like, what? Cynic, it was to us, Cynic was like the pioneers of musicians. They were these Paul, Sean, my God, people would just come to the warehouse to be in awe with this
Right.
guy, Sean Reiner. You got to come and see this kid, Sean Reiner,
I
please.
bet, dude.
And he was just, it was crazy, an alien, bro. Like, I think the mothership just brought him back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like he did but bro, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, of course, he could have done so much more, but Sean made a fucking stamp, bro.
Super
He
big
freaking
stamp,
left
dude.
this
Oh,
freaking
dude, and
legacy,
it's
bro.
gonna be lasting for a very, very, very long time, dude.
So that's it. So that's
Yeah.
it, brother. It's like at the end of the day, Sean Reiner, yes, the freaking the beginning,
Yeah.
the trendsetter. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? He
Hmm.
changed the drumming game for extreme metal.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
And at the end of the day, so there I'm with Cynic. I start doing stuff and demos and da da da. Leads us to everything that Cynic did. Never, then obviously one of my favorite bands was Pestilence. I
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
listen to Malleus Maleficarum, I think like repeatedly, like I don't know, 50 times a day, maybe more. It was my
Wow.
favorite record
Jeez.
because
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
lyrics, and just the odd times and the heaviness and how
Pronounce it
clean
again. It's Maleficarum.
Malleus Maleficarum.
And that's actually was it Latin for the witches it's a witch hunting handbook or some shit like that.
Yeah, that was Marco Fotis. He wrote all the lyrics for Pestilence.
It's literally like a
For
400-year-old book where it tells you how to kill witches, dude.
yeah, very smart individual. Like very very smart kid. Marco was extremely elevated.
I own a
and
copy, by the way.
oh, amazing, amazing. So my favorite band,
Gotta kill a
Pestilence.
witch every now
Listening,
and
yeah, gotta kill a witch once in a while. But nevertheless, truth be told, that later on doing the Atheist album, after my other great friend, my brother Roger Patterson passing, also, yeah, like short lived, but man, that guy just brutalized the industry, bro.
Right. So
With
I was going to mention that because one of my favorite videos that has come into my recent attention is your first rehearsal with Atheist.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you actually, after we had been talking and whatnot, and I went on your page and I realized that you had posted that too. And I was like, oh shit, that was that video that I just saw recently. I forget how it came across my attention, but that's such a great video, dude, because not only is the sound, you know, better than most, bootleg videos of other, live performances and all that kind of shit, but it's you guys in a garage, everybody, it reminded me of what it was like in the rehearsal studio when other bands would come and watch people practice. Paul's walking
Mhm.
around there,
Yeah.
like, and you guys are just ripping, and you guys are totally ripping like that. It just was so it blew me away how awesome that rehearsal sounded to me watching that video. So just wanted to, since I'm only going to have you for a certain amount of time, I wanted to
I
mention
know
that.
I have it locked and loaded right now. I have a clip of it locked and loaded, but yeah, I'll play it after. But
Okay,
it's
we'll do that for sure.
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
In all sense of the word, organic, man. Like as
Hmm.
organic as you could think, and so with ease, and you know, man, this was our passion, man. So
Totally.
we were doing it with excellence, and I was filling some heavy, big shoes, and I was still in high school, by the way. I used
Jesus.
to I used to have to rehearse with the band in the weekends. I used to drive from Miami to Sarasota on the
Yeah.
weekends to
Wow.
practice. And guess who's behind the camera?
Who's
Hmm.
that?
Sean.
Yeah.
No
Oh, yeah?
shit.
No
Oh, I
way.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow,
Sean.
Oh,
that's a
okay.
nice
Sean.
little tidbit.
Sean is behind the camera, and Sean obviously knew. Sean was also a he was like his alter ego was a bass player. He was a bass player. He
Yeah.
always want. If
Mhm.
he ever played another instrument, it would be bass. And I'm a drummer. I'm a percussionist and a drummer. So
Okay.
it's so crazy how we throughout the years, and we talked about this so many times, and me and Sean got very close after everything as older men, and
Totally,
we
totally.
would hang out and we would talk about stuff, and it was so me and him resonated in the same frequency vibes. We had
Mhm.
synergy. Even in Cynic, we always hung out together, and we vibrated.
I've mentioned that plenty of times on the show, Tony, and you're just solidifying it for me even more. I didn't pay attention to it as much when I was younger, but the relationship between a drummer and a bass player is something a little deeper than everybody
Absolutely,
else in the band, and the
absolutely.
rhythm section is become so much more important to me now in my later years, now that I've realized that that is the true backbone to anything you guys listen to. All the groove, all the stuff that makes you want to move your body comes from that right there.
Mhm.
Abs- Absolutely, and well said. And you said a mouthful, and that's why I did Elements.
Hmm.
That's the first
Mhm.
time I separated the rhythm section with the melody section. As you could, people call Elements salsa metal.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
It's like
Totally.
Salsa
it
metal.
definitely
but
has the Latin
Love
influence in
that.
there for sure.
it has a Latin influence because I'm Latin, but it has a rhythm, man. It has a rhythm. You
Hmm.
could hear
Mhm.
where I am doing nothing but sticking to that kick drum, man. Dum dum dum. Boom 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 boom
Yeah.
boom boom
Yeah, no,
boom boom
totally.
boom boom boom, and then there's the harmonic, because remember, now in my further on in my career becoming a producer, with now, or and counting, over 350 releases. That's
Damn.
that's a lot of work,
It's
man. And a
crazy.
lot of, and sometimes I see my discography and it says 49, it says 75, and I'm the poster child for this company that sells my freaking samples. I
Hmm.
can't sue them because they're less than
Right.
7 seconds. So
That's
then continuing the journey, and basically just from an artist bass player. Like tonight, I'm gonna play with this band called EXO Miami Project, which I created for a speakeasy lounge that I'm a part of. So I created this house band for them, and then I won't be there forever. I just quit. What I do, even for the ministries and churches and things like that, I'm what they call the planter. I obviously I end up in these places that people have no production, no audio and visuals, no no demographic, no platform, no logistics. So I come in and I set everything up for them. The band, the stage, everything that you could think of that gives the whatever purpose of music production or staging or anything like that. I put that together, and so started with the career of that, which led me to be a music producer, and then I just
Mhm.
started producing records for artists, big artists. Nickelodeon. I worked with Nickelodeon for 10 years.
Oh,
I
Wow.
damn.
was I was one of their main producers for a huge soap opera called Grachi out of Latin America, which they did very well. Most of my songs are the actual theme songs for this
That's
for
cool,
this
man.
soap
Awesome,
opera for
man.
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I
back on
actually
what
I
you
actually sampled some Area 305 as well today.
yeah.
I did. I
Yeah,
really
that's
did.
awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
There's actually a song that made me want to shake my booty a little bit.
Which one? Which one?
I gotta pull it up now because it's in Spanish. Um,
You only got a few more minutes, I know, so
Yeah.
you could probably slap us out. If you wanna-
Dude, play some. You got
If he tells me the name of the song, I'll play the song.
all right, let me fucking.
I feel like play anything you want, dude. That sounds great.
Let's play something groovy.
Oh, K. Linda Morena.
Oh, que linda morena. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's a pretty much a tropical. Que linda morena para estar los
yeah.
coches.
I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to have a
absolutely.
drink on the beach when I was listening to it, dude.
Oh yeah.
Very
Oh yeah.
tropical, very tropical.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I'll leave you guys for be tuned, be in tune for part two.
Yeah.
Everybody out there in Cali Death podcast land, and
Cool.
thanks again for the opportunity. Here we go. Whoa.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Tony. Thanks,
Sick,
dude.
man. Thanks a lot.
All right, dude. Well, crush
Yeah.
it tonight, Tony,
Absolutely. And the air balloons, remember?
and the
Air
air
balloons.
balloon. Oh, dude, we
Air
didn't even talk
balloons.
about that.
Let's
That
try
was
and do
pre-pod, dude.
that.
All right. Well, yeah,
All
we'll
right,
talk
guys.
about the air balloons
Tony,
too.
have a
But
great
yeah.
night, man. Thank you.
Tony, real quick, where do you want anybody to go online to check out all your stuff?
Yeah, just I mean, just go to Tony Choi, just hit Tony Choi on Google. Pretty much that's my verified page on Google. There's everything there, all the discographies, everything, write-ups, I mean stories, this and that. As far as music, I'm gonna be releasing some new music with a DJ called Diana Glaze. Also, I'm doing, I do worship, I do praise and worship music. That's
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in the ministry.
Yeah, yeah.
So I do a lot of that stuff in my own project called Emmanuel, and
Nice.
just I'm doing. I probably do like Ferocious Scourge again. Like Jason called me for this. I've been talking to Michael Smith and stuff like that, and then my group Synchronicity.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Synchronicity will come out with Cultivation remixed and remastered, and then putting another Synchronicity album together, and that will be pretty soon,
Killer.
2020.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully,
Awesome,
you
man.
guys, I can go and do some live shows too. So that'll be
Yeah,
Oh
it'd be
yeah.
cool to
I would
meet you in
love that. That'd be
person, dude.
sick.
See you play live. That would be rad.
yeah, yeah. I will
yeah.
be doing some clinics though. I'll leave you guys with that.
Okay.
I'm setting up
Cool.
some clinics, so I'm sure you guys will see me soon.
Right on, Tony. Well,
Nice.
thank you for giving us this little chunk, and yeah, I wish it was longer, but duty calls, dude, and that's all good. So do
We're
your
here for the
thing.
music, so we're here for the acts. You gotta fucking perform. You gotta perform. I get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'll see you guys soon. Okay.
All
Right
right,
on,
sounds
Tony.
good, Tony.
Thanks,
Have a good
Tony.
night.
Nice to meet you.
Peace.
Rock on. We will see you next week.